Can folks hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, awesome. Apparently, because I came in first, I'm the host, so I get to let people in, which is weird. Let's see. And if you students have the ability to start video, go ahead and start your video. You can be on here, video and audio too. And if you're having a hard time responding via audio, because Isaiah and Alondra, you're both muted right now, you can unmute yourselves. No. Admit. Hi, Isaiah. How are you?
Hello.
Hi, Aya.
Hi, Ida.
People are slowly trickling in. We have 7, yay! Still. Hey, nice Titan shirt. Admit.
You're muted right now, Yahira.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hi, Alondra.
Hi.
Hi, Isaiah.
Hi.
Okay. Oh, my hair's so wild today.
The humidity.
It is. I can't tame it.
Thus, this Titan hat today. I look real Coach Anderson today. Coach Anderson is in real full effect today. Thank you, Alexa. Yeah, when I'm in heavy Titan gear or especially polo shirts, Coach Anderson. I look like I'm going to be like, run some laps, everybody. Let's run some laps.
I'm not a hat person, so.
Me neither.
I don't wear hats.
I feel like I have a small forehead, and then with my glasses, I don't know, like I feel like I don't have enough room.
I have a big head and a big forehead.
It's called today commitment to the, like, because the bangs then become like, so
yeah,
it's on for now. On for now.
For sure. It's funny because I've seen a lot of the men that I'm on Zoom, Zoom meetings with, the men, because they can't go out and get haircuts, they're all wearing caps.
Yes, they are wearing caps.
It's getting to that point with haircuts.
Yeah.
All right. So Alondra, Leslie, Isaiah, Alexa, Vanessa, and I know Carolina, you're just jumping on. Is there any possibility of video conferencing for you all? Because we have some games we were going to play that will help if you can turn your video on. But if not, I totally get that too. Hey! Hey!
Who's the next brave soul?
Hi.
Isaiah! Isaiah, you totally be chilling in bed. I love it.
Oh, give me a minute.
Kenny.
Hi. Oh, can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes.
I'm admitting people as they come into the waiting room to prevent us from being Zoom bombed. It's magical. All right, let's see here. Carolina's coming back. We're also recording this. It's very Irving. Yay!
Hey.
He's coming in. I can see everybody's names before. So
As
sorry.
they come in.
Isaiah, welcome back. Hey. You're a champion, sir, for being like, I will join you in just a moment.
I'm trying to put the camera on, but it says it's unable to detect a camera for Zoom.
Oh, how weird.
Do you have a built-in camera for your computer?
No. It's because this is not my computer, it's my sister's, and it's kind of weird.
Yeah, so if she doesn't have a built-in camera to her computer, they won't be able to find it.
Yeah, it says to make no, yeah. Okay.
You can always switch to Zoom if you have it downloaded on your phone. If not, it's not like the end of the world. Just know we're going to play some visual-based games.
Okay.
That is all. Hey. We've got a couple more minutes, and I'm sure people will like trickle in as we're getting started.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to learn a lot of people's names on this since I'm letting everyone in. I'll be concerned if like 40 people jump on at once. That's why I might be like, we'll wait. We will wait. Is the fact that it's raining making it easier to stay inside, y'all?
Yes.
A
little bit, right? Like for me, I'm like, oh, now I just want to be cozy and a blanket. As you can see, I'm not currently cozy in a blanket, but that's okay.
But you're wearing your Titan gear, and that's what matters.
I am. So much Titan gear today. Titan. This was like my ASI hat that I was like, they were giving out to students one year, and I was like, how do I get one of those sweet hats? Because a lot of my Titan hats are from the baseball games, and I know as a community, we tend to be a lot more Dodger focused and not Angel focused. So I didn't want to wear an Angels hat today and have people feel like Bailey and Caitlin. Yay! And if folks, if you have the ability for video, we're going to do some games that will involve video. So if you can do that, that would be fantastic. Also, if you have pen and paper handy, get some pen and paper handy and a second piece of paper for a game later. So we need pen and paper at the top, and then we'll need a piece of paper towards the end.
Monthly meeting to attend, so I'll be in my room. I have a monthly meeting for house.
Miguel is asking for the link, Kanitsa. He thinks he has the wrong one.
Okay.
Bailey is hydrating. Good job. For those of you who just joined in, if you have the ability for video, please join on video because we're going to play some games. If you don't, that's okay. You'll enjoy other folks.
I have a giant zit on my face, though.
That's okay. Guess what? This is the time of ultimate personal forgiveness amongst each other. So don't even stress. I have a zit right there. Also, look at these sweet bangs from wearing a hat. Yeah. Awesome. So don't worry about zits. And Zoom is more forgiving than you think, because there's a lot of stuff you
Hold on.
cannot see through Zoom.
I keep
Hey,
forgetting.
Lynn! Yay.
I have
look
the
at
virtual
the
background.
puppy.
I love it. I like the Mickey Mouse hat. That's great. Jamie's coming in. Yay.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I was in the wrong link. There was another student in the other one.
Oh, hopefully they're coming over to this.
Yeah.
Look at all these people.
I forgot his name.
So those of you who are audio only right now, if you have the ability to get video, please do. And also grab a piece of paper and a pen and a second piece of paper, because we're going to play some games. Playing some games.
I'm going to leave and let the other student know.
Okay. We'll see you in a few.
How's everyone doing?
You know, we're hanging in.
Can you check you're
Adjusted?
muted, by the way?
Huh?
I said, Kenita was giving a thumbs up, and I was like, you're muted, by the way.
Yes, yes, I know. Thank you.
It's so good to see all of your faces.
Yay. Guadalupe, I really like the photo of you that came up first with your accordion. That's amazing.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
You know, we have a few folks on staff that know how to play accordion. I think we need to start a band, is what I'm hearing.
Oh, yeah, I think I know who you're talking about. I saw him play the other day.
I have a couple friends that play accordion too. We could get like rehearsal going over Zoom. I think this could work. Let's see. Is it here? Is it here? I have to find it. Hold please.
You guys like The Office, right? Did you guys see that Kanatsky made a new YouTube?
Yes.
Yes.
It's great. It is
Summer
great.
News is amazing.
The Hamilton one, yes, that was the other day. Oh my God.
It was so good.
That made me cry. It was so good. I'm looking for my tiny accordion. I have a tiny accordion in here somewhere. It's like, of course you do, but I just don't know where it is right now. I think it's buried because Rose doesn't like it. One of my dogs is like, no, thank you.
Yeah, they make a lot of noise. Like when I practice, like my neighbors told me they can hear me. Like,
Are they complaining though, or they're just saying they can hear you?
nah, they could just hear me. Like they didn't. I don't know. I haven't gotten complaints yet.
Oh, well, that's good. Yeah, the instruments I play, the dog doesn't like. The instrument Sean plays, the dog's like, fine with. Bassoon and bass guitar, no problem. Accordion and flute, not a fan.
Yeah, I have a bass, and like I don't think I've gotten like anyone hearing it. But the saxophone, I have one too, and yeah, they like that one you can hear it like really far. Especially like when I mess up on when it does like the squeaky sound. Oh my God.
Okay. We've got a couple more folks hopefully coming over. Sorry, I'm just admitting a bunch of people right now. We're using the waiting room and the password to protect ourselves from getting Zoom bombed. Because I was in a meeting where it happened and it's not great. So this is a good thing. I can scroll over and see people's happy faces. And if you have video capabilities, please join us on video and get a pen and a piece of paper, because we're gonna, and then a second piece of paper, because we're gonna do some activities. We're gonna do some activities to connect and have a great time.
Question, Darcy, how big do the pieces of paper need to be?
They don't have to be super, like I just happen to have a sketchbook, that's my hand. The first piece of paper, you want it big enough you can make a drawing on. The second piece of paper can actually even be as small as a Post-it. Not a tiny Post-it and not a flag Post-it, but yeah, that'll be fine.
So our first activity changed. We don't need the paper for the first one.
Oh, we don't?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm
So
all
we'll be
ready.
okay.
So we
You'll
do
be okay with one piece of paper.
So we still need the second piece of paper
Yes.
for that activity later. Okay, sorry. I'm just like, this is what
You're
we're
okay.
doing. And you're like, that's not what we're doing.
You're fine.
Coach Anderson is at the wrong game. Good to see everyone's faces. And if you haven't checked out today's virtual Titan Tuesday on the CFS Scholars Instagram, you should do it. I'm making ridiculous videos for you all. First thing in the morning.
You know I don't have social media.
That's, you can, you know, that's fair. Maybe someone can screenshot things or send them to you. Maybe this is the time you make what I learned is called a Finstagram, which is a fake Instagram that doesn't use your actual name.
I see a doggy in one of the image.
Yes. Bailey's
Bailey.
got a dog. Where did Bailey's dog go? Bailey, where's your dog? I saw a dog. Oh, there.
What's your dog's name, baby?
Echo.
One
Echo?
more time?
Yeah. I have popcorn and he wants it.
The dog's like, I like popcorn.
My dog too. She always eats popcorn, or she always wants popcorn when I'm eating it.
I was in a meeting this morning and I have the door shut and Rose literally busted it open with her head and just came in. She's like, hey. I was like, I'm sorry.
What you doing?
Yeah, she's just like, hi, I'd like to be in this meeting. So my student this morning got to meet, in fact, it was Sophia who joined us. Sophia got to meet Rose. She's real cute. It may happen again. I don't know.
See, my dog is right now on a potty break outside because it stopped raining for a while.
Yes, my dogs are also not really jumping outside much either. So it looks like the influx of folks has maybe stopped right now. So I think since it's almost 10 after 3, we'll get started so we can stay on time for folks and stay on that. So I'm going to hand it over to Paola.
Okay, let me unmute myself if I want to talk. So actually, I don't know, Kenita, do you want me to share this slide? You're muted. Sadia?
Maybe if I unmute myself first, I can tell you what I wanted to tell you. Yeah, let me give you sharing access.
Okay.
Okay, let me figure this out first. 1 second.
We're all getting used to this new sharing
I
screen.
know. Okay, I think
You should be able to share
be
already.
able to share now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we want to ask students to mute themselves during the time that you guys are speaking?
Yes, so we're gonna get to that right now in a bit, sharing like the guidelines that we're gonna be doing, but let me go to present. Let me go back to the beginning. Can everybody see this? Is everybody good with this? Okay. So welcome to the monthly meeting. I'm so happy to be seeing everybody's faces. I know like everybody in the South, we all miss seeing you all in the center. But we're gonna go ahead and get started. So first, we're gonna go over the agenda really quick. So we'll be going over some community guidelines about kind of what behavior we wanna see in this space while we're all sharing space. We're gonna get into a little check-in activity. And then Ganitza and Darcy are be going over Center for Scholar updates and then CSUF reminders. And towards the end, we'll get into more information about summer session, since I know a couple of you also have some questions if you're interested in taking summer classes. And we'll end with a fun activity that Darcy's going to be doing. So that's where your paper and pens are going to be needed. So for community guidelines, we kind of want to make sure that everybody can see each other. So if you're able to and you're on your desktop, you can change to gallery view at the top right corner. I'm like, which side is it? Yes, the top right. You can change it to gallery view and then you can see everybody's faces. we also are going to ask that everybody mutes themselves. Unless you're going to speak, then you cannot mute yourself and like share whatever comments you want to have. But if you have any questions, you can also leave them in the chat side little description thing. So we'll be looking at them to see which questions are popping up as we go through the presentation. And of course, like if we were at the center or any other meeting, we want to continue to have scholar-friendly language from everyone. So, you know, being respectful and making sure that we're all listening to everybody and using respectful language. Any questions? No? Okay. So for the activity, I think I wanted to take advantage of the fact that we're home and kind of making a little bit fun out of what we can do here. So we wanted to do a little show and tell. So if you want to take a second, look around your room, wherever you are, and kind of see if there's any item or belonging that you think represents like your personality or any interest, whether it's like collectibles or your favorite like book, little things like that. So we can take a couple of seconds. While you all are doing that, I can show you what I have prepared so y'all can see what I have. So definitely take a second. To look around.
Sorry to interrupt. Can you unshare the screen really quickly just so that we can
Yes.
all see everybody while we're doing this activity? Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Okie dokie. So while y'all are taking a second to kind of look around and see what you have, I have two things. So we have enough time for y'all to think. So one, I have my Game of Thrones pop. It's Brianna Tarth. She's amazing. She's the best. I don't know if any of y'all have seen Game of Thrones, but she's my fave. She's great. And then my favorite thing is this mug. It looks like a normal black mug, but when you put hot water in it, the Harry Potter map comes out of it. So it's like the Mischief Managed kind of thing where you make it my favorite mug. I collect mugs too. So this is just a little about me. I have a little nerdy side in me with my favorite TV shows and movies. So if anybody wants to go ahead and unmute themselves and kind of share what they have, you can go ahead and do that.
I think really quickly too, if we can actually have folks raise their hand just because there's 30
yes.
folks. So if you go under the participants, you should be able to raise your hand in there and we can see who's requesting.
Okay, yes, I can see that.
So Samantha has raised her hand.
Hello, I'm Samantha.
Hi.
Okay, so my item is my dog.
Yay!
Yeah, my dog and me are best friends. I'm with her all day, every day now since we've been in quarantine. So I walked outside right now for 5 minutes and my dog was having a meltdown by our window. She was dying for me to come back. So yeah, this is my one item. And then my second item, let me take you. Well, not take you, but my second item I got for my birthday. So I was asking for it. It's the Men in Black trilogy, all three of them.
Yay, so cool.
Yeah, I love movies, and I just saw these for the first time like a year ago, and I fell in love. And so I asked for the 3-pack of movies for my birthday. So yeah, my 2 items.
Yay!
Thank you for sharing. Let's see, anyone else?
I'll go ahead and go, and I apologize for not raising my hand, but I don't know how to do it on Zoom. We're still learning. It's okay. But I also wanted to share my pup since I have her here.
Oh,
so this is my dog. This is my dog, Bella. She is so excited that I am home now, and she gets to sit in my lap almost all day. And she's with me while I'm in my meetings and stuff. And so this is her. Yay. I also have 2 cats, but they're sleeping somewhere, so I won't show them. Not this time.
Somebody was asking, where are the cats?
If they stop by, I'll show them.
Yay, thank you.
Do it.
Who else would
Is
like
there
to
another dog coming in?
raise their hand and share with us? Leslie.
Or Leslie.
All right, so my first item, it's something that it's essential to my major and what I want to be later on. So it's a mannequin. it's to make sure I do anatomically correct drawings for people. And then my second item is this little, what are they called? I forgot. But
Snow globe?
Snow globe, there we go. And it's of a sea otter because they're my favorite animals. My sister gave it to me when she went to the zoo. So, yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Jamie, you raised your hand.
Yay. Okay, so I wanted to share my cat. She's mad at me. She tried to make an appearance in Instagram today. So she's a little grouchy. This is Fergie. She's my best buddy. We were roommates and now we're coworkers because I work from home now. Yay! And that's it for now because that's all I can grab from where I'm sitting. Yay!
Yay.
Thank you.
I think Joshua wanted to go, right?
Yeah, yes. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. I don't have a dog or a cat, but I do have little velociraptor right here. Her name's Blue. She's from the Jurassic World movies. Yeah, she's a little good, and she's been a good friend around here. Don't you, Abby? Haven't you?
Josh, we're back to campus. Your velociraptor needs to come visit the T-Rex I have in my office.
All right, I'll bring her then. I also have Bold and Brash. It's the painting of that Squidward did on SpongeBob.
I love it. Thank you.
Awesome. Bailey.
I was going to show you my Appa Pop first.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Love Appa.
I have all the Avatar ones, but that one's my favorite because it's Appa. And then I got my cat, and she's currently trying to kill me, but her name's Callie.
Callie. And if anyone doesn't have the ability for video and you want to post about something in the chat, you can do that and we can read those too. Who else? Who else? All right, I'll go since we have waiting. I have to grab mine. Hold please, but he's just right back here. Oh, so many things are getting knocked over. I think BB-8 might take a header. So those of you who've been to my office know that I have action figures. And this is one of my favorite. This is my Mark Twain doll. So this really brings together all the nerddoms in one. Let me see if I can take him out so you can actually kind of see him. Because I love Mark Twain. I love collecting action figures. But yeah. I can't get him out, but there he is. Mark Twain in a doll size. So there's that. And also Stanley is right here. Yeah. So two old dudes with mustaches that represent all kinds of nerddom in my life.
Thank you, Darcy.
Okay, so I'll go next. So I always have this water bottle, is one of my favorites, but what I really love is this Baby Yoda. Is like, I'm so obsessed with Baby Yoda now. So yeah, I love that. And then my other thing that I have always with me is these seashells that I've been collecting since I was probably 18 years old. So there's tons of beautiful seashells in here. And so I used to go to the beach like really early in the morning and go pick them up and bleach them and wash them, and I've kept them throughout the years.
That's so cool. Okay, maybe we can get one or two more people and then we'll wrap this up if anyone else wants to share.
Oh, Caitlin.
Hello.
Oh,
so
there you
can
are.
you hear?
Yes, now we can.
Okay. So I got this exclusive that I got from Comic-Con. It's Coochie Kopi from Bob's Burgers. I got it my second year at Comic-Con, and I remember getting it distinctively because I almost lost my credit card during that time. I left my card at the booth, and I was panicking for about 5 minutes. The second thing I'm going to have to go up for is I don't know if you guys can see it, the signed poster of my favorite anime. I actually met the voice actors and the creators, and they were really nice.
So cool.
Yay. Miguel.
I just want to respond to Caitlin's RWBY poster because that is my favorite anime too. And I don't know if you've ever been to my office, but I have a huge pillow with a girl with an umbrella. Her name is Neapolitan, and she is from that show. Like, I am obsessed with Ruby too. Connection.
Yay. Okay.
Anyone
So,
else?
yeah.
I'll go. So I have a poster right there. It's like, well, I could take it down, but I mean, yeah, it's like Soy Chiva de Corazon. You can see my shirt too, like pretty like diehard fan. Yeah, I got a couple of hats. I have like a couple more, but yeah, when I go out to clubs and whatnot, it's like my style. I don't know. It's my stuff.
Yay.
Thank you. Well, thank you everyone for sharing. I think we all got to know a little bit more about each other. So I appreciate you all participating. Kenita, do you want me to go back and share my screen too?
I could go ahead and share
Okay.
since the next part is me, and then
Okay.
I'll go ahead and hand it over to Darcy. Thank you, Paola, for that fun activity, and thank you all for sharing. I saw that we have a couple of Chivas fans in here, so we hope to continue to connect in other ways. Okay, so let me jump into talking about our monthly meetings. So are you all able to see the screen that I'm sharing? Okay, good. Thank you for the thumbs up. Okay, so some updates about our program requirements. As you know, considering that we've been going through this transition, things have changed a little bit for the center and for the campus in general. And so we just want to remind you all of some program requirements that you also have. And we've been sending emails updating folks about the different things that are coming up, different deadlines, and also the fact that we've waived the community service hours and the community service requirements. So again, let me just go over this. We are still asking folks to do the needs assessment, and more recently we sent out a needs assessment about the impact of switching to online learning and from COVID-19, and so I'll go over that in just a minute. If you have not done that, we ask you to do it, as well as a needs assessment that we shared at the beginning of the semester. The check-in appointment, we're still meeting with students. The check-in appointment is the first appointment where we just get to know you, see how you're doing in your semester, and then provide you any resources and support that you need. We also ask students prior to moving online to submit the progress update form. Now, I also understand that our timelines kind of coincided with the transitioning to online. And so if you have not submitted your progress update form, please still do so. And if you have not asked your professors for your grades in class, also make sure to do that, because it's still really important for you to see how you're doing in classes. And if you need to make any adjustments, you still have time in the semester to do so. I know we're not on campus anymore, so it's not as easy as going into the University Learning Center to get tutoring, but there's still tutoring that's happening remotely. So if you feel like you need support or you feel like you need access to those services, please let one of your advisors know, and we're more than happy to review that with you. And a little bit later today, Darcy's gonna go over our resource page that we created for you all to kind of go through and navigate as well whenever you feel like you need to utilize a resource. So the academic advising deadline is the deadline that we want to make sure that you are all aware. Academic advising is happening soon. Many people are actually going to start to register April 10th, which is this Friday. So we ask you all to please make an advising appointment with your major advisors and make an appointment with us as your GE advisors, because we can help look at your TDA. We can help see what other GE requirements you have left over. And I know some folks may not necessarily be able to make an appointment with their major advisor before their meeting. And so we can kind of help you look at your major requirements to start to start to choose the classes. Sorry, I'm getting all tongue-tied. And then once you meet with your major advisors, just checking in with them to ensure that the classes that you picked were the correct one. So again, academic advising deadline is April 30th, but really you should do the advising prior to your registration date. I've been sending out emails on how to contact your advisors. If you're on Instagram, I encourage you to follow the CSUF Scholars page, and we'll show how you can follow that in just a minute, so that you all can start to see also how you can reach out to your advisors on there as well. And like I mentioned earlier today, your community service hours are waived, so you do not have to worry about community service hours. We want to make sure that all of you are safe, that all of you are practice social distancing, and so we're not going to be asking you all to do community service this semester. Any questions about anything that I've mentioned so far? And if Darcy, if you can help me look at the chat and stuff to see if there's any questions.
Were you saying that? Are you saying that the academic advising deadline is 4:30? Like after that, they're not meeting with anyone. Is that what you mean, or like, are you? And then when is priority registration for next semester?
Okay, great questions, Andre. Right? Mm-hmm. That was the one who was talking. Okay, thank you. So the academic advising deadline, it's not that nobody's going to be meeting with you after the 30th. We just want you to have your academic advising done by the 30th, because like I mentioned, academic advising, so priority registration is already starting April 10th. So some of you are already going to be registering this week. And so we want you to really just meet with an advisor prior to your registration date. The deadline that we posted here is to help you meet the requirements so that you're not doing everything last minute, right before finals or after finals. We want you all to have the best opportunity to register for your classes based on your registration or time frame. And so the sooner that you register, or if you register as soon as your time frame opens, the better shot you have of getting the classes that you need. So you can still meet with an advisor after the 30th or even after you register for classes, but the sooner you get to meet with one of us or even a major advisor, the better, so that you are informed about the classes that you need. Now, for a lot of like the upperclassmen, so juniors and seniors, your classes are gonna be pretty laid out at that point, because you have a few more classes that you have to finish up before you finish your time at CSUF. So that might be a little bit easier for you. So you may be able to anticipate what classes you need, but it's still a good idea to check in with a major advisor so that you make sure that the classes you're picking are going to help you satisfy your requirements. Does that make sense? Did that answer your question?
Yeah, I was gonna say, just because I didn't meet with the academic advisor the first week of school, and they pretty much I have like an email, I think that even you're in, that they laid out what I should have for the next, because I only have one semester left after this.
Cool.
So I was just wondering, that's why I was wondering if I really do need to meet with that advisor, because I am on track. I have good grades right now. Everything's on, that's why I'm wondering. Oh, and the reason I'm asking that is because a year ago, I remember maybe because I was wasn't upperclassman, is that there was a hold on my account before I could register because I hadn't met with the academic advisor. Mm-hmm. But like I'm saying, I don't really need to meet with one. I have very good grades right now, and I only have 5 classes left.
Glad to hear that, Andre. If you have other questions, feel free to let me know after our meeting as well, and I can talk to you specifically about your specific case. But thank you for mentioning the holds part. So for a lot of you, you also want to make sure that you don't have any academic holds on your account, because that will keep you from registering. So the way that you will check is, but in your student center, there should be a box on your right-hand side that will list if you have any holds. And if you do have some holds, you want to review to see what they say, because some of them will keep you from registering and some of them won't necessarily impact your registration. So keep that in mind.
If you are like a freshman or sophomore or probably even a junior, there are probably, and if you've never met with an academic advisor, there could be a hold on your account that won't even let you register for classes. So that's what I was getting at too, that I've seen before.
Yeah. Thank you, Andre. I appreciate that. Okay, so I'm going to continue going with this part, and let me see if we have any questions.
Can I add to that really quickly?
Absolutely, for sure.
The other thing you all want to be aware of is while it's like, oh, well, today is only the 7th and the 30th is so far away, since everyone is going virtual, advising is booking up in different ways. So you need to, if you're not just planning to meet with a GE advisor like one of us, and you need to meet with a major advisor because you have questions about concentration courses or where you go next in your major, book those appointments now because it could take you 2 to 3 weeks to see a major advisor. I'm not kidding on this. And what will happen is you'll think, oh, I can just meet with them in the same week, and then they won't have availability for a few weeks. So please make sure you're getting on top of those advising appointments now.
Yeah. And I see a question that says, some major advisors may not have appointments before the 30th. So again, this is the same thing that Darcy's saying. Some people are already booked up. And so like we mentioned, again, we're more than happy to review some of those requirements. We are not major advisors, so we are definitely not experts in the major, but we can kind of help and look at your TDA to see what you may want to take next semester. And then once you make the appointment with your major advisor, you could just review what we selected together and then make any appropriate changes if needed. Great. If you all have questions, continue to post them on the group chat. And I know the Center for Scholars staff is helping with answering some of those questions. So make sure you're checking those as well. Okay, so just to continue on, this is what I was talking about in terms of the COVID needs impact survey. So if you all can take some time and scan this, if you have not done this already. So we sent this out a couple weeks ago that kind of just talks about any needs that you may have during this time of transitioning remotely. And then also, you know, not necessarily, for some of us, not necessarily clocking into work or what have you. So if you all take some time, scan this and fill out the survey. If you've already done this, do not worry about it, but I want to give you all a couple of minutes to do this because it's really important for us to see what needs you all have. The university knows and understands that there are some students who may be struggling in this process, and they have some resources available for students, but we need to know what needs you have in order for us to connect you with those resources. So again, please, please, please go ahead and check this survey so you can pull out your phone and you can actually scan this. And let me see if I can send this as well to everybody in our chat. I think that's going to be it. But I missed the portion here. I will also be sharing this PowerPoint with you all later so that you have access to it as well. But I am sharing it in the chat so you can also click on it for you to fill it out. So I'm going to give you all a couple of minutes to do this if you haven't done this already. And it's relatively quick. It's a couple of questions, and please be as specific as possible when you can if you do have needs in certain areas. So again, your advisor can then follow up with you accordingly, provide you some resources, and then making sure that you are all ready to go during this process.
One thing to note as well, because we did get a question that Paula answered, but I just want to address this to you all about when can you start registering. You all should have gotten an email saying that you have a registration date, and when you look in your student center on the portal, the registration date will be on the right-hand side for fall 2020. Those of you with priority registration will have multiple dates. You choose the earliest date and time. So if you have, say, April 10th and April 27th, choose April 10th. Like that's the date, you don't choose it, but that'll be the date date and time you register on.
Thank you.
Wait,
Okay.
so you're saying if it says enrollment appointments and like you're Titan Online, and I see mine like it says regular academic session 4/10/20 and then 4/16/20, of course, like the 4/10, but like at 11 a.m. that will start for me, or I've heard like different times for different last names.
That starts for you. Different people will have different times, so it doesn't overwhelm the system. But yes, for you on your
okay, so if
time.
it says 11, that makes sense. Okay.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, I'm going to continue moving forward with the needs assessment. And so again, continue to post your questions in the chat. So again, as a reminder, this is the information for the Center for Scholars staff, and in particular, your advisors. You've been getting emails about this. And I just want to review this with everyone. And so right here, it'll say the name, and then it'll also tell you who the advisor, what what each advisor, who each advisor is supporting. So for example, for me, I'm supporting students with last names that run from A to F. Feel free to email me. You can also, you all have lists, the list of our work cell phone numbers. And so on our work cell phone numbers, you can call or text there, and we can also follow up with you through our phone numbers. And then you also have links to our Calendly. So Darcy is gonna be in, reviewing or meeting with students with last names from G to M. Paola is the advisor for students with last names N through R. Miguel is going to be meeting with students with last names S through Z. And then you also have the information for Yahaira if you have any questions for her, or if you have any questions about financial aid or scholarship, Jamie would be your go-to person. Now, if you're not sure who to reach out to, it's always a good idea to reach out to your advisor first. And if we can answer your question, we're more than happy to do that. And if we need to refer out to either Yahaira or Jamie, we will do that on your behalf as well. And then Jamie or Yahaira will follow up with you if they need to talk to you one-on-one. So that's kind of always a good rule of thumb. You can always reach out to your advisors first and then reach out. And then we can reach out on your behalf as well. So again, just as a reminder, your registration date is posted in the Student Center. And priority registration starts April 10th, and then your registration dates will be assigned accordingly after that. Another thing that I want to mention is that if you do reach out to the advisors on their work cell phone numbers, or even through email, know that we're reviewing our phones and our emails from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. And so if you text us or call us outside of those hours, we may not respond to you right away until the next business day. Now, if it is an urgent need or, somewhat of an emergency, we'll definitely follow up with you there, but know that, we are also going to be taking some time off on those areas, okay? So in a similar way, like the center would be open from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, we're also going to be available on our phones, checking them 8 to 5. We are also getting a lot of emails. So if we don't get back to you within like 24 hours, feel free to follow up with us, because it could be that we flagged it and we're going to go back to it, but for one reason or another, we forget. So I always appreciate it when students follow up with me on that. And I know our other advisors as well. Okay. So continue to ask any questions. Folks are still answering. And then from here, I'm just gonna go over some upcoming events. So even though we're remote, we're still having some events for all of you so that we can continue to connect in different ways. So here is our calendar for April. Today is our Center for Scholars monthly meeting. And then for our seniors in the chat, if you are a senior, you've been getting emails from me about a meeting that we're going to be having to discuss graduation and what are some ways to celebrate you all while we're doing this remotely. So if you're not a senior and this is the first time you're hearing about it, don't worry about this. This is really tailored to our students who have graduated fall 2019 and spring 2020 and then summer 2020. But if you are a senior and you haven't heard about this, feel free to send me an email or check your emails as well, and then we can talk a little bit more about this, but this will be for next Tuesday. Alex is also going to be hosting CAPS Wellness workshops as well. So similar to what we were doing when we were all on campus, we're still going to be having Alex Osorio and Hank come and help facilitate CAPS Wellness workshops. So they're going to be very similar way where there's going to be a topic that's going to be discussed, and then it's going to be a great opportunity for us to learn different things about that topic. The meeting for the 15th is going to be more of kind of like, everybody, let's come together. Let's talk about some topics that you all want to see. What are some things that you have been going through in this transition? And this is a great way for you to, advocate on your behalf if you want to talk about a specific topic, like, how to set a routine during this time, or self-care, what does that look like? So please join us during this time so that we can have that chat, and then Alex can find some time for us to incorporate it into our meetings. And so as you can see, we'll be having one on the 22nd. We'll also be having another one on the 29th, and I believe on May 6th as well. And then lastly, the reminder is that we have our academic advising deadline on the 30th. So I know Alex was in the chat here, and I don't mean to put you on the spot, Alex, but did you want to talk about the CAPS Wellness workshops really quickly?
Yeah, so hi everybody, my name is Alex. For those of you that haven't met me in person, So yes, we're going to be doing 4 workshops. We decided to just provide one every week to take us all the way to the end of the semester. So I do want to get some feedback from students about what topics you would like to cover. Hank and I have been meeting to kind of discuss what are some areas that you may be interested in, perhaps. Some of the things that we've kind of come across are, and these are things that we've come across with some of the students that we're still currently serving at CAPS. So things like, how do you manage your schedule and your time now that you're at home all the time? And I'm having a hard time staying on track with schoolwork and all the other things I'm doing. To how do I deal with the anxiety and worry that comes with like COVID-19? To how do I, I've been feeling a little depressed. How do I keep in contact with people and kind of continue to bring joy into my life with different activities and things like that. So it's gonna be like a discussion, a conversation. I know some of you have attended our in-person wellness workshops. So even though we have a PowerPoint and we have some structure, it usually ends up becoming just like a two-way conversation. So it's not like we're teaching in front of a class and you are just gonna sit there and watch. We really want to make it a conversation where students can interact and engage and ask questions as we go along. So if you can think of some topics, I would say put some down on the chat, but we'll talk more about it next week on the 15th. And then we'll use that. And what we're planning to do is on the 15th, we also want to talk about some of the services that CAPS is still offering for students. And then at the end, start off with a small topic next week on the 15th. So maybe cover some anxiety and worry and how to maintain your mental health and your physical health and all these, your overall wellness during this time that we're going through right now. So we are going to start next week at the end of that session or meeting with some tips and things that we can share with you all. But yeah, feel free to put some topics in the chat. I don't know if Kanitza, if there's any other way they can get topics to us before then, or we can just wait till the 15th to kind of get some feedback then. Do you want me to go over some of the services that CAPS is offering, or should we wait till the 15th for that?
I think we can wait to the 15th for that, just because we definitely want to make sure we have enough time for some of the other stuff we want to discuss. But that was great, Alex. Thank you. And I know Darcy's going to go over the resources that we'll discuss a little bit more, that I'll have the CAPS link in there. So if you're interested in some of the resources or you really want to suggest a topic, again, utilize the chat right now, but you can always email me with that information or really just drop into our wellness workshop. I'm going to be sending out links, and because we want to be very mindful of the Zoom bombing that's been happening, so that we're not interrupted in our meetings, they will be password protected, but every Center for Scholars student is going to be invited to it. And so you will have all the information prior to our meeting. So make sure that you're checking your Cal State Fullerton emails. The email should be coming from the Center for Scholars. So make sure that you're keeping an eye for that email address, which is scholars@fullerton.edu. And if you have not been receiving anything from the Center for Scholars, check your spam, because I am sending it to a lot of students. So sometimes your emails will, think that it's a spam email. But if you've checked it and you're still not receiving it, let me know so that I can make sure that your contact is up to date on my end. So again, thank you so much for that, Alex. I appreciate you kind of sharing a little bit about CAPS Wellness workshops. And so I have this next slide here that talks about the Center for Scholars updates and upcoming workshops and meetings. So again, we're having CAPS Wellness workshops on every Wednesday from now up until May 6th. And then we are going to be having a discussion with our seniors. So if you're a senior, please join us in that meeting, because we want to definitely check in with you and chat with you about what graduation may particularly look like. Rather, I should say the celebrations will look like. And then I believe I'm going to hand it over to Darcy now. So Darcy, I'm going to unshare my screen and then you can share yours. Sound good? Okay.
Hi everybody, let me get my screen up and sharing really quickly. Here we go. So many tabs. Look at all those tabs. So many tabs. Okay. Loading. All right, so some updates about our social media. So this week in the Instagram stories, we've been doing staff highlights of the Center for Scholars staff, and they'll be saved in the highlights section. So if you miss them, you can review them. We're also setting in place some things to keep y'all engaged. during the week. So Mondays are Motivation Monday, Tuesdays are Titan Tuesdays, thus all the Titan gear. So if you actually go on our Instagram today, you'll see a video of me and some of our other staff that have posted stuff. So I'm asking you to post to your Instagram and tag us with CFS Titan Tuesday so that we can repost your photos and keep connected and have fun that way. Wednesdays are Wellness Wednesday. Thursdays are going to be Throwback Thursday, and Fridays are going to be Feel Good Friday. So my plan is to post different activities of ways that we can engage and just fun, silly things on different days. So that is how we're going to go with social media. So you'll be seeing a lot of me. I'm an influencer. I don't know what to tell you. It's amazing. Like I said in yesterday's video, sometimes you chase the dream, and sometimes the dream chases you. Some other things to know about in Cal State Fullerton updates. So one of the things that is an incredible tool that both Kenitsa and Paola have had the biggest incredible hand, other people have contributed to, but they put together this amazing community and resources site for us that has been sent to you all, yes? Yes, right? And the reason I am bringing that up, I know it was sent to you all, but you all need to go into your emails and click on it because this is what comes up. And as you can see, this is in a very, very extensive resource that the team wants to help you all connect financially, food-wise, all kinds of things. So on the left-hand side over here, right, where things are color-coded, it will say Center for Scholars, Cal State Fullerton resources, Cal State Fullerton advising resources, tutoring resources, things for emotional support, things for family, financial stuff. I know a lot of you out there are like, I need help with financial stuff. There it is, right? Food insecurity, whether or not you need to get stuff from a food bank or meal assistance, whatever it is there. Housing, big important thing. Medical stuff. And then special populations is in here, and you might be like, oh, what does that mean? So if, say, for our former foster youth, our guardian scholars, things tied to that, right? Or students experiencing homelessness. So some of these things will apply to some of our scholars and some of them won't as far as special populations goes, but we have different specific information in there as well. Technology, because technology is what is connecting us all right now. Some other things like free storage, core power yoga, and then also some volunteer opportunities. Now, granted, your volunteer requirements have been waived for the semester, but these are ways to get involved during this time if you're looking for things to do, okay? And it might be something you connect with now that then helps you connect in the future. But remember, community service are waived. Community service hours are waived. So this resource is incredible. Please, 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 please spend time with it. Get to know it, because the resources that we have been connecting students with are listed on this website, on this page that Kenitsa has sent out to all of you. So please go to it and spend some time with it so you know the things that are available to you right now. And as things change and as we find more resources, this will be updated. That's why it is in this type of spreadsheet, so that we can change it. So that is that. Kenitsa?
Sorry, Darcy, if I can just add one thing, kind of along the lines of what Alex is saying in terms of kind of talking a little bit about some of the resources. So if you all look at this list and it says virtual crisis support mental health, that's going to show the resources for CAPS right now. So if you wanted to read a little bit on that, once you all get this, once you're able to pull up the resource list, and then all the way over to the left or right hand side, it says organization, and it tells you where that resource is coming from, so you can check that out as well. Each resource is hyperlinked to the actual website where you can find out more information about it. So if you wanted to learn more about it, feel free to click on the box, and then it's going to send you to the website, which you can then do a little bit more research on. If you need help or support in navigating this list, feel free to reach out to your advisors. We're more than happy to sit with you or to chat with you about maybe what's the best resource to utilize. Thanks, Darcy.
Absolutely. Thank you, Kenitsa. So please spend some time with that. The other thing that is really important to know is that our summer session at Cal State Fullerton, if you're a student that was planning to take summer session through Cal State Fullerton, all summer session at Cal State Fullerton has been moved online, okay? So you will not be going in person, you will be doing a virtual class. So it's something that's really important to remember. Many of the community colleges that are offering summer will also more than likely be moving online because people are still figuring out the scope of these COVID precautions. So just be aware that whether you're taking summer on our campus, which for sure is online, or at a community college, they will most likely at the community college also be online. So be really aware of that. And remember, as Kenitsa has been saying, fall registration, if you have priority registration, starts April 10th. So please register for classes. Again, a question came up in the chat. What if I can't meet with an advisor before my registration appointment? Register for your classes. Get your classes because there's still time to change and move things around. So if there's something that's like super out of whack or it's like, oh, why would you register for that? That can be changed later, but you want to make sure you register for your classes on your registration date, okay? So one of the things, and I know we're getting tight on time, we may not be able to get to our last activity, but I promise I'll bring it back because this to me is very important, which is how do you look for classes at the community college to take over summer? So some of the reasons people take community college classes over summer is because it saves you a lot of money. 6 units at Cal State Fullerton over summer will cost you $1,911. So many monies, right? But if it's only a 100 or a 200 level course, you can take those at the community college for a lot less money. So this is why we wanted to talk about this today. And so we're going to use this website called assist.org. And this is going to be a very brief overview of Assist, so you can always connect with us as your advisors of how to look it up. This is the newer Assist. To be honest, it is not as user-friendly as the last Assist because they are still updating it. I'm very well aware. That's why let us as your advisors be your second set of eyes, because you know what we don't want you to do? Sit in a summer school class that is not the right class. Don't want you to do that. Don't spend the time, don't spend the money. So let us be your second set of eyes. But here's Assist, okay? So say, for example, you were looking for accounting classes, the equivalent to accounting 201A and 201B at Santa Ana College. We know which is financial accounting and managerial accounting, right? For a major class. So we'd come down here, we're gonna keep with the current academic year of 1920. And then the first institution we're gonna pick is Santa Ana College because of the fact that Santa Ana is the college we're looking to take it at. We're not gonna try agreements with other institutions because that's not updated right now, but what we're gonna come down here is to find CSU transferable courses. We're gonna view those transferability lists. So we'll click on accounting, but you can see we get this message that says the accounting course is not currently available. You have the whole department's, like it's gonna show you everything, which is fine. So if we open that, luckily accounting is A, so it's at the very top, right? But we can see financial accounting and managerial accounting are both offered at Santa Ana, and they're accounting 101 and 102, okay? And that is if you were looking for like a major equivalent course, right? Now, what Assist will not tell you is if it's being offered over summer. I don't know if it is. I actually do, it is. They are being offered over summer, but you have to then go to that community college's website to see if they're being offered, right? And to see if that community college is even having summer at all. Not just because of COVID, but not every community college offers summer, so know that. But the great thing about taking classes over summer is if all the community colleges move their classes to online in summer, it doesn't really matter which community college you take it at because you won't have to drive there. So it's something to think about, right? Now, if we want to go back to Assist and say we want to look at one of the GE transferable courses, you want to find out how to take a class in area A, B, or C. And the reason I'm saying A, B, or C is because the community colleges and us line up the same in areas A, B, and C. Area D is different, and they don't have an area Z. Area E lines up pretty well, but A, B, C, and E line up. D does not, and there is no Z, so just be aware of that. So if we come over here to Santa Ana College, right, and then instead we want to look at instead of transferable courses, we look at CSU GE Breadth certification, which means it is a certified GE course. So then we're going to switch it over and ask for the GE courses. So let's say we're trying to look for an art class that would satisfy your area C1. Again, just art is not there, and I'm sticking with the A's so that we can keep this brief. But if we come over here and we see, here are the art courses, the number of units that it is, and then the certification areas. So you can see that it is certified in area C1, okay? The date approved, if it doesn't have a date approved, that's okay. What we want to make sure it does not have is a date removed. Because if it has date removed, one, the class might not be offered, and two, it may still be offered, but it might not count in that area, okay? So you just want to make sure that it does not have a date removed, all right? That's kind of how you look up area A, B, C, and E. But when you're looking in area D, right, and I'm just going to pull up to the top, see how on this Anthro 125 Native Americans in the US, it lists D1, D3, and D6? Yeah, we don't have a D6, friends. That's why area D is a little bit different. And I know we're coming up on time, but I just want to show you some little things. Any classes in area D, absolutely double check with an advisor. But the most common area students kind of get screwed up on is when they're looking for their political science or their US history courses. So at Santa Ana College, if we want to look at the US history, Constitution, and American values courses, you can see it only pulls up history and political science, which is fine. But what's important to know in this is that, see on the screen how it's saying US 1, US 2, and US 3. Those are the numbers we really want to pay attention to when we're looking at political science or US history, because the US history is going to be the US 1, okay? Anything that has the US 1 and doesn't have a date removed will count as your US history requirement, which is like your area D2, okay? If it has a US 2 and a US 3, it's very important, US 2 and US 3, it will count for your poli-sci 100 in your area D3. Some of you with older catalog years, your area D4. The reason it is important that it has both is because if it only has the US 2 and it does not have the US 3, which is the California government, you will end up taking a second class. Don't end up taking a second class. So if we come down here, we can see here are all these history classes with US 1s, right? And like this American history, it got removed, so you wouldn't take that. But there's a lot to choose from. But when we come down here for the political science, there's only one poli-sci class at Santa Ana that would count. There's two. There's one regular and one honors. But you can see it has the US 2 and the US 3. Okay, so it's really important. That's a really, really brief overview of ASSIST because I'm trying to keep us within time. But use assist.org. You do not have to have a special license. It's free. Try and look up classes and then double check with us. And when you're double checking with us, especially if you're communicating with us via email, please send us the name of the class that you're trying to satisfy or the area you're trying to satisfy, as well as the name of the class at the community college you're trying to take it at. Give us all the information so we can really look it up. So that's just some things, but let us be your second set of eyes. Don't take classes you don't need, okay? And again, coming back over here, just remember really quickly that, that you wanna use assist.org. Online, if everything's online this summer, there's a lot of more options for you to take summer school classes. You can only take lower division courses, levels 100 and 200. Upper division is not offered at the community level, community college level, and double check with your advisor. Double check with your advisor. So we're at 4 o'clock right now. We had another activity that we were gonna do. I'm gonna hold off on that activity until we have another meeting, if that's cool, because I know people have got classes and other things to go to, and I don't want to keep y'all over. I want to be respectful of your time. But I didn't know if there's anything else that the staff wanted to add, or anybody else had any other questions before we go. You can raise your hand. I'm going to stop my screen share so I can actually look at everybody. Hello, everybody. Oh, yeah. You had to raise your hand. Hi.
Hi. So I just wanted to say thank you to everyone that joined this meeting. I really appreciate you being here with us. That particular survey that we were talking, the COVID-19 survey, just please make sure that you fill it out. I'm working really hard with Jamie Hamilton and University Advancement to advocate for all of you and make sure that we have a way of helping you out with food, with bills, with rent, anything that's going to come up. I know that for some of you, you didn't report that there was any kind of needs, but what I really want you to think about is what could potentially happen in the next month or two. Are some of you losing your jobs? Or are you at risk of losing your jobs and you might have a challenge paying for your living expenses? So if you've already submitted the survey and you feel like something has changed, please feel free to just submit it again. It's not a problem. At any point, that survey is going to stay on there until we go back to the office and, this whole situation changes. But for now, it'll remain on there. And as soon as we have a plan how we're going to be supporting everybody, I will make sure that we share that information with anyone. If you have something extremely urgent, like it's an emergency in regards to like any kind of basic need, please just pick up the phone and call me to my cell phone. I have it with me day and night, and just tell me what's happening, and Jamie and I will try to get on top of it as quickly as we can. Okay? Any questions about that? Nope. Okay. Thank you, Darcy.
You're welcome. Thank you, everybody, for joining us in this meeting today. It has been so great to see so many of your faces, and even if we didn't see your faces, for your names to pop up. Thank you for those of you who shared in our kind of show and tell activity at the beginning. That is amazing. We're here for you. We're here to support. That's why we're doing these things. Please, please reach out, connect with us. That is what we're here for. We're doing as much virtual center as we can during this time, but trust us, we would much rather be in person with you all. So stay safe, stay healthy, and we will talk to you all soon. Sending big love.